So President Trump just sent out this tweet. It just went out, and I'm going to show it to you. Well, it went out about 10 minutes ago. So let me show it to you, and you can see what this says. Rather than putting pressure on the business people of the Manufacturing Council and Strategy and Policy Forum, I am ending both. Thank you all. So President Trump, so some of you got, thank you. Some of you are writing in and saying some of you are getting notifications, some of you aren't, and some of you say I'm getting them for RSBN and not for somebody else, and somebody says last couple of days I've been getting them. So they seem to be having issues with their notifications. Hopefully they're not doing this thing where because we talk about politics, they try to stop our notifications or something, but some of you are getting them, so we will look into it. Anyways, let's continue with the news here. And please let people know, share this video so they know that we're talking about this right now. So President Trump, what happened is, since Saturday, since Charlottesville, we have seen several CEOs drop out of one of President Trump's CEO councils. There are a couple of them, as he says in his tweet. There's a manufacturing council and there's a strategy and policy forum. I think those are the only two councils of CEOs. CEO councils where President Trump brings in CEOs to help him, talk about economic policy and figure out economic policy for the future. And over the last couple days, there's been an increasing number of CEOs who said, I am not going to be on the councils. And just this morning, I know the Campbell Soup one happened like a half an hour ago, and there was another one a couple hours ago. And then what happened? If I can show you. Hold on a second. I want to show you the time. I want to show you the timeline here of exactly what happened. So a bunch of CEOs said they're not. All right. So I'll show you. There were a bunch of CEOs who posted stuff like this. It's a little too big there. Giving you the timeline. So. Well, this isn't a post, but we started seeing posts like this, and this is the one that came out. So this was only about, an hour or so ago, where the Campbell Soup CEO resigned. I think it's Campbell's and not Campbell, by the way. But so that CEO resigned, and that was the latest one. And then, if I can find it for you, I'd love to. I have to have it right here. I'll show you. Then I saw this article, and this was the next thing that got reported. Sorry, here. So, well, actually, you can't even see it. What Bloomberg had come out with an article about a half hour ago, and they said they had heard from somebody, I think at the company Blackstone, that the White House was that they were going to tell the White House that, or something like just one of the councils was going to end. And so that was the story about a half an hour ago, that one of the councils was going to end. But then, before the mainstream media even broke the news, for mostly, President Trump sent this tweet out, and he said, rather than putting pressure on the business people of the Manufacturing Council and Strategy Policy Forum, I am ending both. Thank you all. So some people are going to say, well, did he end them before they just ended up having nobody on them? And some people might say, no, he could have gotten other people on them. So that's a whole question people can talk about. So, but the councils right now, the councils are not happening anymore. President Trump has ended them. And we'd like to know what you think about this news. So what do you think about President Trump ending the Manufacturing Council and the Strategy and Policy Forum after all of these CEOs said they would not be on them? What do you think about that? Write to me. I'd like to hear your feedback on this. Write to me at Lookner on Twitter, at LOOKNER. Or you can email me at steve.lookner@rsbn.tv. Annabelle Onion writes in, this is good, makes it harder for mainstream media to bother companies that want a MAGA. NY Mike 2S says, I say good riddance. These are CEOs jumping ship first chance. Stocks are nosediving already. And let's see, I'd like to, let me just see, give me 1 second here. I'm going to see if there's any commentary that's coming out about this story right now. It's really just breaking. It just happened, in the last hour. So just getting in details. When I last checked, I looked at the New York Times, they didn't even have the full story posted. So I'm looking here to just see, I'm checking some sources to see if there's any more updates about this. And it's, an interesting point about the Manufacturing Council is as of yesterday, President Trump seemed to say he wanted to continue the Manufacturing Council because he said from yesterday, this is from Carrie Dan, the quote was, "For every CEO that drops out of the Manufacturing Council, I have many to take their place." But today, apparently, a change of mind from the president, and he said that he's disbanding both CEO business councils. And I'm just trying to get you some updates. If you find any news updates about the story or any tweets you think are relevant from a CEO or from somebody else, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Thank you, by the way, to the moderators for moderating the chat room today. Appreciate it. So it's so new, like I'm not even seeing new feedback here. Let me just show you this real quick. I'll give you an example. I'll just show you the Bloomberg article. So this article says, Trump ends business councils as CEOs turn against president. Let's see, how long is this article? We'll read through it. It's a short article. So they just updated this article. It says, Donald Trump said he's disbanding 2 advisory groups of American business leaders after CEOs quit this week as the president faced blowback for failing to sufficiently condemn white supremacists. Trump made the announcement on Twitter less than an hour after one of the groups was said to be planning to inform the White House that it would disband. So as I was saying before, there was a report earlier that one of the groups, I think the Strategy Council, had already decided to disband, and they were going to tell the White House this, and then the president made the announcement that he was disbanding the councils. The president tweeted out, rather than putting pressure on the business people of the Manufacturing Council and Strategy and Policy Forum, I am ending both. Thank you all, Trump said on Twitter. We showed that tweet before. That's this one right here. Here's his tweet. Continue with the story. His remarks were a reversal of what he had said the day before when he tweeted that he had plenty of CEOs who wanted to be on panels to replace those who quit and called the CEOs who left grandstanders. That tweet was yesterday. I thought I could get it up here real quick. Let me get that tweet up here real quick if I can find it quickly for you. This is the one right here. This is what he tweeted yesterday. For every CEO that drops out of the Manufacturing Council, I have many to take their place. Grandstanders should not have gone on jobs. Back to the story. The Executive Council, which is led by Blackstone Group's LP Steven Schwartzman, planned to inform the White House Wednesday before making the announcement public, according to a person familiar with the matter who wasn't authorized to discuss the news publicly. The Strategy Group is one of several the White House convened earlier this year to advise the president. Several CEOs from a Manufacturing Council quit this week following blowback over Trump's remarks about racially charged violence in Virginia on Saturday. Pressure to leave the groups has built following a press conference Trump held in New York Tuesday, where he placed partial blame for the weekend violence on demonstrators protesting a gathering of white supremacists in Charlottesville, Virginia. A woman was killed during the event after a man rammed a car into the crowd. While more than half a dozen CEOs have quit a manufacturing CEO group, others have said they want to stay on the panels in order to influence White House policy. The Manufacturing Council hasn't met since February. The CEOs of Under Armour, Intel, Merck quit earlier this week. And on Wednesday, the CEO of 3M left, as did Campbell Soup CEO. And the Campbell Soup CEO today said, following yesterday's remarks from the president, I cannot remain on the Manufacturing Jobs Initiative. I will continue to support all efforts to spur economic growth and advocate for the values that have always made America great. So, again, we are covering this story, just breaking news. President Trump has disbanded his 2 CEO business councils, the Manufacturing Council and the Strategy and Policy Forum. Would love to get your feedback on this story. Give me a shout if you want to write in. Excuse me. I need a drink of water. Give me a shout if you'd like to write in. I am at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner. And I'm happy to read your comment on the air, no matter what it is. I really like to know what you have to think about this story. Let's see. Murtech Road Warrior writes in, Globalist gone, thank you DJT. Joanne Goldsnyder says, Steve, your thoughts on this, good or bad? I think there's arguments you could give on both sides of this, and I don't want to tell you guys what to think. So I think Some people might say, it's bad because it's good that he talks to CEOs and gets their input. I heard somebody on TV say, Trump's support base has always been more among small business than big business. And some people might say, he's going to make his economic policy either way, no matter what the CEOs say, and he can just make the same economic policies. So there's arguments you could give on both sides. I leave it to you to judge what you think about this. Juliet Germanata says, wow, so he lied again? No wall, no jail for Hillary Clinton, no leader. Hashtag Trump, you're fired. So Juliet is not happy. Coconuts writes in. Coconuts, I'm not going to... So Coconut sent me a tweet on the monument stuff, which is a little off topic. So I won't read that now. I'll try to stay on topic, but thank you, Coconuts, for sending that in. We try to stay on topic with the streams with news, because if we don't, we can very easily get off topic somewhere else. So... Sam Miller says, according to a Fox Business pundit, CEOs are getting threats from the alt-left. That says, our viewer Sam Miller says he heard that on Fox Business. Frankie B says, I'm worried now. I'm still behind the president 100% though. Zachary says, I really hope people rise up and boycott these companies that turned on Trump. Not my president writes, you can break up with me. You can't. I think you mean you can't break up with me. I'm breaking up with you. That's from Not My President. Drama Punch says, looks like corporations are feeling the pressure. Oh, this was from before, I think, Drama Punch, because you're sending me a tweet about CEO of Johnson & Johnson leaving the council, but President Trump has already said he's disbanding the council. NY Mike 2S says... But it's also a shame that the president and staff seem to be the only ones loyal to we the people. Christina Mills says part of the reason why these CEOs are leaving is due to the start of NAFTA negotiations. Many products are made in China. Drama Punch says, I think this is a great idea by the president. The council turned into a political platform of virtue signaling. I'm sick of corporate virtue signaling. I Found This Fish says, what happened to the Russia narrative the media has been screaming about for the last 8 months? Hashtag fake news. Polybius writes, every one of these CEOs leaving today have Chinese expansion interests. Doubt it's because Charlottesville. Trump is probing China. Again, we are covering this breaking news that President Trump has disbanded his... two business councils made up of CEOs after a number of them left, said they're leaving the councils in the last couple days. So this is Right Side Broadcasting, by the way. If you like our broadcast and want to know when our broadcasts are coming on the air, when the YouTube notification system is working, which it hasn't been working fully the last couple days, and we apologize by that, you can subscribe on YouTube, and if you subscribe on YouTube, when you subscribe on YouTube, click the notifications bell. You should get notifications. For some reason, it hasn't been working well the last couple of days, but you should. Subscribe to us on YouTube, click the notifications bell. Also, like and follow us on Facebook. And another way to find out when we're going live is to follow us on Twitter at RSB Network, and you can follow me on Twitter at Lookner. And thanks again to the moderators for moderating the chat today. And if you guys have thoughts on this, would really like to hear what you're thinking about what happened with this breaking news, write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. And I'm going to look up something here. I'm just going to see if I can find you any updates about this story. I'd like to find if I was just looking, for some feedback on this, and I haven't found it yet. Let's see one thing here. Oh, so I guess this is maybe what one of the viewers had sent me a message about this, and I think I misinterpreted what the message was. So one of the viewers, I think, sent me this tweet, and I forget who. So I apologize. But the Johnson & Johnson CEO, here, I'll show you this, has apparently changed his mind. Well, the councils aren't around anymore, but this came out before. It said, Dan Diamond posted, the CEO of Johnson & Johnson, which yesterday said he would stay on Trump's council, changed his mind. And there was a message where he says Johnson & Johnson has a responsibility to remain engaged as important policy decisions have been made. That hasn't changed. The president's recent statement equating those who are motivated by race-based hate with those who stand up against hatred is unacceptable and has changed our decision to participate in the White House Manufacturing Advisory Council. But there is no council anymore because President Trump has disbanded the councils, which we can see right here. Oh, President Trump sent out a new tweet. What did he send out? Let's see. President Trump just retweeted this, by the way. He just retweeted this, which it says, President Trump alone has succeeded in bringing the stock market, small business index, and consumer comfort to all-time highs. My gosh. So President Trump just retweeted that right now. And this was his retweet. This was his tweet from before. Gary Crunk writes, big business can and do take care of themselves. Real Donald Trump should create a small business council instead. Mrs. Mortazavi says, I truly believe the president is doing the right thing. He's a strategic man for the people. Let's see. If you would like to write in and get your comment read on the air and let us know what you think about this breaking news, write to me at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner. Let's see here. I'm going to do a little quick check here and see if I can get you some more updates on this story. I have a New York Times story pulled up here just to see if there are any more details here. The quick sequence began late Wednesday morning when Stephen A. Schwartzman, the chief executive of Blackstone Group and one of Trump's closest confidants in the business community, organized a conference call for members of the President's Strategic and Policy Forum. On the call, the CEOs of some of the largest companies in the country debated how to proceed. After discussion among a dozen prominent CEOs, the decision was made to abandon the group altogether, said people with knowledge of the call. The council included the CEOs of BlackRock, IBM, Boston Consulting Group, and Cleveland Clinic, among others. Just looking for more new details here. Yeah, this echoes some stuff we read earlier, different details. Let's see, we got some more messages here. James Worley says, disbanding the business council is bad news for America. By CEOs dropping out and disbanding the council, it is giving David Duke and the KKK exactly what they are wanting. Interesting perspective from James Worley, one of our viewers. Jason W. says, off topic, I know, just wondering if you're going to cover a session statement today later on sanctuary cities. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you yet, Jason. Thank you for asking. We will be at President Trump's rally in Phoenix next week. He's having a rally in Phoenix on August 22nd, which would be next Tuesday, if I'm getting my dates right. So, yes, so we will be there covering that. Joanne Goldsteiner says, Steve, I do and will stand behind President Trump 100%. The left has had this left has had, it says this, I think there's a typo there, to bring him down the past week has not been good. I feel President Trump has had enough. A person can only fight alone for so long before it becomes too much. The left had this in the works from day one. That's what Joanne Goldschneider says. Joanne, what exactly do you mean when you say he's had enough? If you would like to write in and let us know what you're thinking about this story, we're going to be on a little while longer here. You can write in to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Also, so because there's been, I have a favor to ask those of you watching on YouTube, which is the last couple of days there have been problems with YouTube notifications. I know this because I am signed up to get notifications about Right Side because I work there, and I haven't been getting them for a number of the videos. So if you haven't gotten YouTube notifications about our videos the last couple of days, could you possibly just message us at feedback@rsbn.tv, or you can email me at steve.lookner@rsbn.tv, and just let us know that you haven't gotten them, and also whether you're getting them on email or cell phone or that kind of thing. But we would love to hear from you, and that way we can tell YouTube, hey, some people aren't getting our notifications, because we want people who've signed up, obviously, to hear about the videos. Joanne Goldsteiner says, I mean, he feels overwhelmed. Who wouldn't? That's from Joanne. Wisconsin Trump Girl says, markets are still up, not a big deal. CEOs can call him or have lobbyists to suit their greed. Oh, and Tikva just gave $20. Thank you, Tikva, very much. I forgot to say it. We've been talking about this story, and I forgot to say, we are viewer supported, and you guys allow us to, come on the air and give you an alternative to mainstream media. Also, we're going to go to Phoenix next week. We're going to cover President Trump's rally, and I got to fix the camera here. I think it's a little. Oh, that's good. And we're going to cover President Trump's rally, and we cover the whole day of the rally, and we cover we show all the speeches, and we give you hours of interviews of people at the rally before and after the broadcast. We do a post show after the broadcast. So if you enjoy that, it does cost money for us to go to Phoenix, obviously, and to cover that, and also just to be on the air here. So we really do appreciate the donations. If you'd like to support us, you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Or you can click on the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat room. And basically any donation we get for the next few days is going to help us, be able to go cover the rally in Phoenix, because that's the next thing we're doing. And help us stay on the air, obviously. All right. If you have any more comments, please get them in now. I think we're going to wrap this up pretty soon. Send me a message at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner. I'm just going to do one more check here for some other information. And of course, if there's breaking news later today, we'll definitely come on the air and cover it. So we're always ready to come on the air when there's breaking news. By the way, there's a report that there was some sort of explosion in New York, but it's not related to terror. One taken to the hospital. It's outside a federal building in Manhattan, but the stories I'm seeing says not related to terror. So sometimes there's like gas explosions, that kind of thing. Jerry OOG gave us $10. Thank you, Jerry, so much for your continued support of Right Side. We will definitely put that toward going to Phoenix and to cover the President Trump's rally. Joe Northpal wrote in, how many of these CEOs' firms support the leftist degenerate LGBTQXYZ agenda? Badger Fool says, hey, Steve, I think this is the first one I haven't gotten a notification for, although past ones have been late. So I guess there are some notification issues. I know there are because I'm not getting them. Nicholas says, the president is doing the right thing with this. Thank you, RSBN. Have a great rally, and I like your haircut, Steve. Oh, thank you, Nicholas. Very nice of you. Andrew says, YouTube 5 times already unsubscribed you to my account and made it so I don't get your alerts. I now unsubscribe and resubscribe and also click on the bell, YouTube at least. Thanks, Andrew. Joanne Goldsteiner says, Steve, it would be awesome if RSBN could go to D.C. to the mother of all rallies in September. We like to go to as many things as we can. It's a little expensive to travel and stuff, so we'll see. Thank you for the suggestion. We'll put it in our suggestion box, Joanne. I wish we could go to all these things. RSBN moderator says, Steve, people are being unsubscribed but also have to click the bell. Having to click the bell is a somewhat new practice. After subscribing, the bell must be clicked in order to receive notifications, which is why some of our old subscribers are not receiving them. Thank you. Good advice, Jude. But I will say, I have been receiving them, and I stopped receiving them 3 days ago, and I didn't mess with anything. So definitely something is happening. Hopefully it's just some kind of mess up and it'll get fixed, which has happened before. Okay, I think, oh, here's an interesting tweet. I'll show you this. If I can find it, I'll show it to you. I know it's here. Here it is. Maggie Haberman tweets, the nationalist populist wing of White House is openly cheering the end of the CEO Council. So that's people like Steve Bannon and I believe Stephen Miller. Sam Miller says there was a dip in stock market. It's coming back, 22,044. I don't know, same day news, a lot of times I don't know really how much it even affects the stock market either way. And a lot of times the swings are not that big anyway. So I wouldn't, unless there's like some giant swing, really read into it too much either way. Oh, Barbara Braley said, I did not receive a notification. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah. So we have, as soon as I get off the air, we're going to look into this because this is an issue. And we want you guys to get notified, obviously, to know when we come on the air. Okay, I think Maggie Haberman writes for the New York Times. That's who she is. Tikva gave $5. Thank you, Tikva, for another donation. And Tikva says, the president has the right instincts. CEOs looking after selves and companies, politics. DTS MAGA. Thank you, Tikva. That's very nice of you. Okay, I think we're going to wrap this up right now, and I'm going to go look into this notifications issue. And I apologize to those of you out here who haven't got some of our notifications. We need to fix that. So, well, it's not us to fix it. YouTube needs to fix it, but we'll get on that. So anyways, the story we have been covering, President Trump has disbanded his 2 CEO councils, as you can see right there in his tweets. To get to know when we're coming on the air again with another video, subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell. But just in case, if the notifications aren't working, I would follow us on Twitter, because that way when we go on the air live, we always send out a link on Twitter too to our YouTube broadcast. So you can find out there that we're on the air. And on Twitter, we're at RSB Network. And you can also follow me on Twitter at @Lookner. I post about breaking news stuff a lot if you like that. And thank you again to the moderators. And that's going to wrap it up for today. Well, hold on, unless I have more messages. I think I got them all. Jackrabbit writes, and YouTube has a very buggy algorithm, so a lot of subscriber notification and video removals happen when they aren't supposed to. This happens to people on the left as well. Please don't be like Tucker Carlson saying it only happens to the right. I did not say it only happens to the right. I did not say that at all. What I said before is, I hope it's not the case that since we're a political channel, this is happening. But I also said that this has happened before and just been some kind of technical screw up and it gets fixed. So I'm hoping it's that. Okay, that's going to be it for now. I'm signing off, but we will be back later today if there's breaking news. As you know, we'll always be on with breaking news, and we'll also look forward to covering President Trump's rally for you next Tuesday in Phoenix. But for now, hope you guys have a great day. Everybody in the chat room and all the moderators, JC and Jude and Guinevere, and thank you for the donations, by the way. Very much appreciated. If you want to donate, rsbn.tv/donate's the place to go. And everybody else in the chat room there. So have a great day, everyone. Maybe we'll see you later on today. And until next time, this is Steve Lookner for RSBN.